Woohoo, woohoo. Oh, look.
We're live?
Yay, we're live. Hello,
Hey, guys.
souls. How are you? I've got the chat loaded up here. Have you got it over there, Anna? Can you see the chat?
I'm attempting to load it up right now. I'm going now. Oops, hold on.
Load it.
Let's go. Okay, I got it.
Fabulous, fabulous. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for another, I think this is our 10th. I tried to fiddle around with the playlist yesterday, Anna, give everything a thumbnail, a uniform thumbnail, and put a hashtag number in front of it. And I do believe that this is our 10th.
I was very impressed that you did that.
I know, even I was impressed, and I put it into a playlist. So guys, if you want to find any of the previous videos, to look for snippets of information, or just to watch what we've created thus far, then I have everything organized in a Bone, Stone and Earth Flesh playlist, and they are all numbered, and I actually put them in order. Somehow I was blessed with some kind of organizational skills yesterday. So that's exciting. So Anna and I, we've just been like powwowing behind the scenes because we're a little bit excited that we are in the suits of swords, and also that we're going to edge towards the court card soon because we're moving through this this particular suit quite quickly. And why wouldn't you? Because it's air. Air is swift, right? So we're doing justice to the elements in which we are working with at the moment. But we were just discussing the challenges of creating the court component to a deck, because not only does it have to be uniform, and this was Anna saying to me that it has to be uniform, it also has to fit the theme of the deck, and it presents all these delicious challenges from a creative standpoint to really tackle. And so I was just saying to Anna that I'm upskilling on all of my court knowledge, so I'm rereading court sections of books. I'm rereading Understanding the Tarot Court. I'm also taking that beautiful dailytarotgirl.com course on Tarot Readers Academy, understanding the court cards. And this is information that, yes, I know, but I want to freshen up on it because I find the court to be quite complex, but we're getting to there. We're getting to there. So Anna, would you like to talk a little bit about your process thus far, and maybe like the unbelievable occurrence that happened with our forums?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so last chat we decided, right, we brainstormed the 4 swords, and we came up with this guy that was resting with his hat on his face. I believe it was by a wall or something like that. So we were looking for this brooding looking, nice guy, kind of relaxing, right? So we went off chat, and we were still talking, and then I got on my phone, I can't remember who, but they contacted me on Instagram and showed me Lisa Hunt had the 4 of Swords done, just posted the 4 of Swords for her deck that she's working on, and it was actually a guy in a stable or something like that, laying down with a hat on his face, and there were like haystacks around, and I was like, oh no. Go figure, every good idea is taken, right? So needless to say,
taken immediately though. That seemed like, oh my god, because she just posted it up. It wasn't an old post, she had just posted it up.
Yeah, and
it was,
I'm very grateful that somebody tagged us and tagged me in it, and because that saved us a lot of work that then could not have been shown. So this can happen, and even though the way she had drawn the guy, it was a totally different angle. It wasn't the same. It wouldn't have been the same drawing, but it was the same idea and the same elements. So yeah, we had to do a new, we had to brainstorm right then and there after the chat. So we kind of hanged out there for a couple of like, what was it, like another half hour or something?
Yeah, about 40 minutes. Went, oh no, we can't use it now. Like we literally looked at each other and went, we can't fucking use this. Like there's no way. Like, and what are the odds of that? Like, what are the odds?
I know.
And so it was, by the way, which up the road that alerted us both. And a big thanks to her. And so we couldn't, we couldn't use it. And rather than sit there and just really like, succumb to defeat, we've just gone, we can't use it. Let's like high energy it up and like think of something different. And so I do believe that our Four of Swords reveal this time around is what I would like to call delicious. Delicious.
It doesn't look like Lisa Hunt's Four of Swords. I can tell you that much. It does not. All right. And so we worked on the Two of Swords. I posted already on the Facebook group. So for those of you who are following, you've already kind of seen what it looks like in a card format. But you have not seen the Three of Swords or the Four of Swords. Those we were, I was working on them actually the past couple of days. So, yeah, do you want me to start showing the cards? Right.
All right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This has been really interesting. Just before Anna goes and shows the cards, and I'm writing about this in the companion book as well. With the Two of Swords, something became rather apparent. I don't really want to divulge what it is because I want you guys to sort of to feel it for yourselves. But something became apparent, and when I showed the Two of Swords to my coven, they were like, oh, the same type of like reaction. And I was like, isn't that interesting? So I'm not going to hint to it. It's in the book. I'm writing about it right now. In fact, I finished writing about it. I'm 13 pages into my book, by the way. And it was just very interesting. And it was because of the Suit of Swords that all of this like came about now. And now I look at every card with this new vision, with this new lens. So thank you, Bonestone Suit of Swords, for that revelation. So I'll hand over to Anna. I'm going to mute my mic so that she can show you everything that she's been working on. Anna has done an amazing job as per usual. So let's revel in her artwork.
Okay. All right. So let's start off with the Two of Swords. Let me just pull up my screen. So here we have the Two of Swords. Let me just adjust the light. There we go. And from the previous chat that we had, there was a debate, right? Which card won? We had two options. One of them was this one. And what happened was I labeled, this was the second drawing I did in sketch format, and I actually labeled it as one. So, but in any case, the vote came down to this card. And so here is the Two of Swords. And what she's doing is she's standing at a crossroads and holding a pendulum, trying to decide which way to go. You can kind of see the movement of the pendulum. And she is carrying her baby. And the idea is that it's not about the baby, right? It's about her predicament. It's about the situation that she's in and the choice that she needs to make. And at this point in time, she's trying to make that decision, right? In front of her, there is a crow that is standing as a witness in front of her on a rock. And I'm going to try and get this as close as you can get to this screen, but that's a close-up of the card. And what we're doing is we're doing the sky, we're keeping it this kind of blue, dark blue, just to keep it consistent with the Suit of Swords, because that's something that we're going to have throughout the card. And so this is the Two of Swords.
Isn't it perfect? Thank you to everyone who tuned into our last Bonestone Bash, helping us decide on some of these images, because we really had sometimes you just need a bit of a compass, and our internal compass can sometimes point to several different directions that we are quite emotionally attached to and creatively attached to, and so it very much aids our process of choosing, definitively choosing. So especially when the options that are presented and the things that come up creatively are quite risque in our own, you know, in our own perceptions of things. So yeah, I'm saying this ahead of the Three of Swords reveal because it's relevant. There you go, Anna, I've said enough.
Okay, so the next card is the Three of Swords, and I did reveal online the sketch and the inked version of it, and the idea was we decided on a charred heart with a hand holding it. So this is the Three of Swords, and you have this hand, and with these kind of claws, these I'd say like bronze, not bronze, sorry, like these golden claws holding this heart, almost piercing it. There's a bone ring on one of the fingers, and from the heart that is charred, you can see the ashes flying away, and yet you do have some hope. You have the little sprout, the green sprout that comes through. And this is part of you see the ring. The ring is also in the Bruxa card. So yes, that's true. It is in the Bruxa card. So this is the Three of Swords. And you can see, let's see if I can bring this in as close like that. Okay, so you can see there's a little bit of, you can see almost the burning of the heart inside, the red areas. And there's also a little bit of blood where the nails are kind of digging into the heart. And so the ashes are flying through it. You have that. So after everything you go through, right, your heart sometimes can harden. It can take a while to get back to who you were and what you felt and thought. So this card depicts just that.
Beautiful, okay. Anna, it's really beautiful. And thank you to the individual who suggested the flying ashes, because I think that adds a little touch. And I had a friend of mine who, one of my besties, Erin, who you guys hear a lot about, she actually looked at the ashes and said that it was reminiscent of the death card. And I said, it's very much connected. It is very much connected to the death card, energetically speaking, the Three of Swords and the death card. There is this element of ending, but there's also this element of beginning. And I think that, you know, the whole image came together quite perfectly and just made for a really stunning Three of Swords card. So I'm incredibly impressed with it.
Yay. Okay. So, because I know this is the Three of Swords was a very, tough card for a lot of people, and they were very worried about it. So, excuse the dog; he's like going off in the background there. But
that's okay.
So, the next card is the Four of Swords, and this is the card that we had to redo, right? Avalon, I'm going to let you take this one away. Are you ready? Okay. This is the Four of Swords, guys.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so as you can see, there was a bit of a call for a sexy man. And so when the opportunity presented itself to redesign the card that we had already just designed, let's be fair, we decided, well, what the fuck? Let's just go really sexy with it. And just put that element of deliciousness in there. So what we have here is a warrior, and he has taken off his battle garb, as you can see at the top by the horse. The horse is there. He's he's world weary at the moment, or battle weary, and he has stopped off at a hot spring to just relax, to just immerse himself and to get ready for the next round of adventure. And so he is slightly risque in his appearance. We did toy around with it. Anna actually did a waist deep man, and then I sort of looked and went, I think he needs a bum. I think we need bum here. I think we need like muscular bum, not full bum, but half bum, you know? So the conversation very much at one point for about 2 days became about to bum or not to bum, you know? and full bum or not full bum. So we have this beautiful screen.
It's in like a glacier lake. So it has like ice around it. This is actually a place. Like, I'll post the name of the lake. Sorry, the hot spring. But I thought it made sense to put that in for the swords, right? So
that's it.
Like sort of,
and the stormy sky as prevalent. The stormy sky is still there.
Yeah,
and yes. So it was a delicious card to create, I must admit.
Stacey Lynn, yes, that is the 4. So what I'm going to do before we actually start doing things, I'm going to go into the Facebook group and just post it the way it is. I'll post the cards, you know, so you can see the cards.
Yes. That way you can have a better visual. Anna's going to go in there and put it up in the graphic.
Yep.
And then you can have a bit of a look, see a little close examination of his bum. But it was a really interesting card to design in the end anyway, because we were presented the opportunity to redesign it. So we thought, like, there was already a theme kind of running towards the end of the design phase of the first 4 of Swords, and we just kind of ran with that theme. We're like, there was a call for a sexy man. We gave you guys the sexiest man we could within the realms of being tasteful and in the context of the Bonestone deck itself. So can I ask why isn't he scarred, like recent battle scars or something? I don't know. Because he's amazing. Because he's the hero. And he still has a lot of journeying to go yet. He's only young into his phase right now. So and he wears armor. And there is that reason. Yes. So yes, we had to we wanted to inject this relaxation aspect. So less about the mental angst and pain that is oftentimes the current that runs through the suit of swords. It's still there. There's still the stormy sky. There's still the element of journey. There's still the battle garb. It doesn't say that things are over or that they're finished or that, you know, everything is well. It's take a break. It's everybody at times needs to take a break. And that's one of the main focuses of the 4 of Swords for me personally within this deck, is the necessity to, after any kind of emotional upheaval or any kind of action or any kind of change, you need to take a breath, because if you don't take a breath, then you collect stress and you carry stress into the next phase of your life. And so this is very much about submerging the muscles in warm water, which is what we do after a huge exercise, and allowing it to soak and just really having a genuine rest. Some of the inspiration from that card came from the Bone Fire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Her 4 of Swords is a woman in a bathtub. And I've always loved that depiction of a woman in a bathtub for the 4 of Swords, because it just depicts that time of rest, that sacred time that I personally need all the time but don't get. So there we have it. Now, how did you go? Have you posted them, Anna?
Yeah, I just did.
All right. So once again, Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot group. If you're not a member, hop on there, join, have a look at things up close, have a look at some behind the scenes stuff. And I wanted to say as well, because I had a little bit of news to share. So it looks like, from a printing process, it looks like I may be able to do a bigger book than what I had thought, because I was only going to do a little book. but it looks like I might be able to do a bigger book than what I have thought. I do have to go through a separate printer for that, but the separate printer is also in the same street as the printer that will be making the box and the deck itself. And also I may be able to get 100 extra copies of the deck. So instead of having 500, having 600 for the first print run. And that is not yet 100% confirmed, but that might be a thing, in which case, if that's the case, I'll be able to pre-list a few other copies and not feel like I need to be so cautious. So I'm just putting it out there. Just putting it out there, okay? And a big shout out also to the lovely Chris Ann Donnelly. For those who don't know who Chris Ann is the creator of the Sacred Creator Oracle. And this is the beautiful Sacred Creator Oracle. She's also just very recently done a course on how to make your own tarot cards through Ethany's Tarot Summer School. Now, Chris has been incredibly, incredibly generous to me in regards to information, and it is because of her that I've been able to make these advancements and make a certain amount of confirmation in regards to not only the printer that I'm using, but also some behind the scenes information that has assisted me to just push for a few little bits and pieces that I didn't even know were an option. So a huge, huge thank you from the bottom of my heart to Chris and Donnelly, and just know that there are wonderful, wonderful people in the tarot creator community. And that they are, some of them can be very tight-lipped, you know. Not everyone wants to share their stuff, not everyone wants to share their process, and so Chris was one of those rare people that does and did, and genuinely does so from the bottom of her heart with the desire to see people create beautiful things for the world. So a huge thank you to Chris for that. Moving on though.
That's good news. That's good news.
I know. I'm a bit excited. So I might have another piece of information for you, Anna, because I don't know if I've shared it with you yet, but that's just for you. That's just for you. I may have already. Okay, so we have the ace. We have the two. We have the three, and we have the sexy four.
Forgot about the ace.
Oh, yes, the ace. So we're well into our suit of swords. This time we get to tackle the 5, the 6, and maybe even the 7. And that brings us up to the 8 of swords that has already been created. So that was one of the original cards for creation. So we have an 8 of swords already. If you haven't seen it, it is in the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot group. And you can have a look at the 8 of swords. And so that brings us up to that chapter there, and then, you know, the next fortnight we'll actually be doing the the 9 and the 10, and because those are big cards, we'll probably just do the 9 and the 10. I mean, they're all big cards, but the 9 and the 10 have got a bit of weight to them, and we've got some ideas already. But we might need your help on the 9. So ahead of time, when our next Bonestone Bash comes around, please have some solid ideas about the 9 of swords, because we've got some, but we're not settled. We're not settled on any particular idea. So we've got ideas coming out of our ears. Yeah. I was going to say something a bit more craft then, but we are having trouble settling on a particular idea. So much the same as some of the, earlier suits. All right. So this brings us to the 5, of swords. Oh
yeah, I have a traditional 5 of swords right here.
The 5 of swords. So there's an element of loss there in the 5 of swords. There is an element of conflict and, hang on, let me get more. As I would read it, it's disappointment. It's disappointment. It's that middle stage. For me, across the tarot, all the 5s are conflict cards. So there's a conflict there with the 5 of swords, just as there's a conflict with every other 5 in the suit of the tarot. But with the 5 of swords, obviously, we're looking at more internalized mental aspects. We're looking at elements of betrayal. We're looking at elements of loss, of cessation, of of an understanding that things really are as bad as you think they are. That's one of those, you know, beautiful elements of truth, you know, when you have that moment of recognition going, fuck, this is bad. And, you know, the tendency of most people is to go, oh, it's not as bad as it seems. But there are times when you in yourself recognize, oh no, this is just as bad as I think it is. So there's that. That's some of the energy that I really want to capture in the 5. I'm laughing because I always had an idea and now I can't think of it.
I always thought of the 5 of Swords as a the card of almost like a trickster card, not, you know, like somebody who is not deserving of the win, kind of. Let me just turn this off.
It is for this reason that the 5 and the 7 seem very comparative. I would like to read you something. I'd like to read you all something in Tarot Wisdom, my Bible. So this is exactly verbatim what Miss Rachel Pollack has written. In most decks, this is one of the most difficult cards. Actually, many people who look at the writer picture and do not know what it intends to illustrate sees it as positive. This is because they assume the largest figure in the focus is the focus character, and so they see the card as triumph and satisfaction. Only if we know it illustrates the theme of defeat do we look primarily to the 2 figures moving away. This feature of the design presents a challenge sometimes in readings. Do we ask the querent how they see it and simply accept triumph as the meaning for the particular reading, or do we point out the intent of the deck's creator? Some readers make a firm decision. They will say the meaning of any card depends on what the querent sees in it, or the opposite, that the meaning is fixed and the reader should explain it. I tend to waver on these approaches depending on the reading. And so there is this perplexing, almost polarization going on with the 5 of Swords. And it is, can you hold up the 5 again for me, please, Anna, that you've got there? Because I haven't sorted mine out.
There it is.
And if you see it, that's exactly what she's talking about. There's a person holding a sword, you know, sword in both hands, but in the background, there's the laying down of weapons, the slumping of heads, and then the moving away. Also, the sky depicts a moving sideways or a crossways, or what's the word that I'm looking for? It's not vertical, it's horizontal. You know what I mean? It's a movement of a sky, and the main figure is actually looking back. So there is a sense of he's okay, yes, but there's also an awareness that other people are not. And so it's within that understanding, that awareness of, oh shit, things are as bad as I think they are. Just because you've got your hands full of goodies and you yourself are doing okay, it doesn't make the situation any better, because there is a bigger picture at play, and that's something to take into consideration as well. So that's something that I really want to illustrate in this particular card. So let's see how we can go with this one. Yes, in Thoth, the keyword is defeat. That's a beautiful thing. I'll just read you here too some of the elements of, say, you know, just some of the shorter elements. So the Sephiroth is, or Sephirah is Gevura. Gevura. So power. Sephiroth 5 is Yetzirah, and that's formation. The writer theme is life's difficulties. The Golden Dawn title is defeat, as yes, T. Charles has just put down. And some of the key phrases are poverty, anxiety, grieving after gain. That's a really good one for the writer image as well, because there's still like that recognition that just because you've gained, and not necessarily everyone has gained, and if you're a compassionate person, that would bring you some kind of dis-ease. And then never resting after labor, loss, and even violence. So we can't disregard that the original image in the writer is the fact that there are swords everywhere. You don't just walk into a scene of swords everywhere and go, oh, we're going to get married. Like, it's not a happy card in that regard. Like, there's a recognition that, you know, things have gone down there. You're not catching the actual battle aspect, but you're catching an element of, and the feeling that something did transpire there, to the point where one person is victorious and the other one are feeling defeated. And how the interplay of those two characters can come about to create a more fuller understanding of the card themselves. Could I use my hands anymore in this? This is a very Latin American thing that I'm doing right now. All right. So my natural inclination is to look at someone sad after the spoils of war, right? That's my natural inclination. Yes, spoils of war. You've plundered, pirate style, for instance. And my natural inclination is to then go and look at someone holding these treasures, but at the same time not feeling 100% satisfied, because you can see that there is more to the story. There's an element of thoughtful or a mindful understanding of the situation that, oh shit, there's something more at play here, you know? So I need to somehow emphasize that realization. And yeah, thoughts, Anna? You're on mute, by the way.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Need you to repeat everything that you just said.
Now, so I do have a couple of thoughts. Okay, so what I'm seeing, and this is just one idea, okay, we can go from there, but since it's so the card is conflict, betrayal, and loss, right? And originally, when you look at this, you do see that these two individuals are walking away. They're they look defeated. Their posture, at least the one that's way in the background, here, like this one right here, this one, the little tiny one, you can see that he's like, you know, he's obviously not happy about what happened. So maybe taking it at the moment of loss, where that individual loses their battle, I guess, would be something that we can show. And the image that came to mind was, you know, when soldiers get caught and they resign. I mean, they surrender. They surrender, right? So they're gaining their life, but they're also losing a lot. They're losing their you know, their power, their manliness in a way, because they're giving everything up in order to survive, and hence they're defeated. So what if we show an instance like that? Like if you had two male figures, you had like almost that moment where, say, the one figure is kneeling and in front of its capture, and then, you know, with clearly like in a defeated pose, and then the person who is you know, above, they can have either, you know, have this power stance on them. So like sometimes they'll unfortunately they can belittle you, or in that sense of belittle, like feeling vulnerable and hurt in a subtle way, right? And maybe like showing them have a foot on top of the person, like this guy standing with his foot on him, like he's down, he put him down, and he feels very confident that he won, but the other person is like, you know.
Yeah.
So that was the images that came. What do you have? Because you look like you had like a moment.
Yeah, I had a moment of inspiration then. So this is what I saw, and I'll explain to you the whole scene, and then you can tell me how to put that into a card and the elements that would work and not work, okay? So imagine a battlefield, the full scape of a battlefield, fallen soldiers, like many fallen soldiers. And then a select few 3, 5, doesn't matter, a select few, like in amidst like 300, 500 fallen soldiers. And one is kneeling, just as you described. The victor, on the other hand, there is an armored victor, like almost like a veil of silver. They're so armored. And one stands forward and literally to this figure that is kneeling, literally just boots straight in the chest. So it's like a foot straight in the chest. So there's a motion of falling over, and in the background there's like emotion of a warrior like reaching out. There's emotion of a warrior just, you know, literally like going, what is happening? And then just another warrior just like utterly lost. Like I want to figure out how I can put that into this.
Okay. So let's see.
There has to be bones and there has to be blood in this one. There has to be the battle.
Okay, hold that thought, because if you recall, here, I'll text you because I don't want to, sorry guys, I don't want to put it on here. Okay.
I'm ready to receive your text.
What is not typing? Oh, why is it not typing? Okay, all right.
I might actually just do a selfie here. Like,
okay.
I'll post that up. Hang on, I'll do it again so I can get Anna in it. There we go. That'll go up in the bone stone because I'm foolish that way. Okay, ready? Okay, ready? Okay, I'm ready. Oh, yes, of course, of course, of course. Of course. Okay, we can't use that. We can't use that scene. That's
well, we can, but like I like the idea of the foot to the like that scene where he's kicking him.
Yeah.
That is a good scene.
Okay, so we need to bring that up so we don't
yes.
We need to bring that up because we
yes.
just so you know, we have a very good idea for the final.
Yeah, I sent you
one of the cards.
So check your phone.
We have a very good idea. Yeah. We're changing the battery for this one.
Okay. I love technology, guys.
So instead of having a field of dead bodies, how about we have a field of just like, you know, surrendering, like an army that's surrendered? How can we depict a surrendered army?
Well, that's I mean, you can have that. So all right. Again, we have to figure out what do we want to focus on. Do we want to focus on? Okay, so here I'll sketch a couple. I'll sketch something out, and this is just. I'll give you 2 examples. Okay, so I guess what we need to figure out is are we focusing on the guy and this foot that's taken him down, you know? So is it the action? Is it the fact that he's down, and then you can have like you know, different people on. All right, so bear with me here. This is like figure drawing, okay, but it's quick. So are we focusing on the guy that's falling backwards and the foot that's hitting him, and you have like a couple of figures in the background? Or are we focusing, are we zooming out, and then are we seeing the whole person, you know what I mean, like the whole person kind of hitting him, you know, because then when you do that, you can almost have him fly out of the page, right? You can have him flying off the page.
Yeah, I like the flying off the page.
So, and then if you do that, you can have a background, and in the background you can have like different figures, smaller figures, yeah. Right? Almost so the size of the figures that you could probably include in the background would be the size of what's going on here.
Yeah. I think,
Okay.
yeah,
So
I think that would be a really nice element. A really nice element. Color is going to have to be a thing here. So I'm just looking at it from a color perspective. So the foot has to be like clad in silver metal, and generally like a what I'm thinking is like a royal battalion, like old school royal battalion, everyone in chainmail, kind of that color tone for the foot, right? Whereas the guy getting kicked in the chest, he's in much more primitive leathers, and you know.
So would he be like the captured one? So it's like the army is watching. So
yeah,
they're watching this poor captured, you know.
Yeah, he's captured. He's captured. He did not surrender. He's captured.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You want me to sketch him out better?
Yeah. Sketch him out.
Right. Let's get you. There's some people asking some questions there. Fire and
All right,
sword
air. I'll go through the people question right now and see how we go.
I'm gonna mute myself.
All right. So what we've got here. Oh, Tarot Alchemist had to go. Okay. Bye, Lisa. Yes, we've got the defeat. Just broke into my wildwood. Jigsaw Jan says just broke into my wildwood under the full moon and eclipse last night, and swords there are frustration. Yes, yes. It's a beautiful deck too, by the way. Great choice to put out under the full moon. Would the depiction of colonization fit into the Five of Swords? It would, but it would be a rather challenging depiction, because colonization can be as much a feeling as it can be a situation. And if it is a situation, then it has to be a very broad overview. I would think personally. I don't think I could creatively, I mean, I could creatively imagine it to be smaller. It just seems like a much bigger picture. It's not a happy card, but it's like a regret after some time, a victory. Thank you, Lynn. That's right. One guy in the battlefield with bodies. T. Charles, you're my kind of lady. I like the bodies. I like the bone. I like the blood. It has to have a little bashing to me. I read it as betrayal, says Becky Jarrell, which is another good one. I find betrayal, though, to be much more fitting within the context of the Seven of Swords, where there's that clandestine or underhanded kind of energy going on. Traditionally speaking, and I've loved this ever since I read it many years ago, is it used to be like, historically, it used to be the card, you know, not so historic as in the point of creation of tarot, but sort of like early modern tarot reader, historical. It used to be the card to depict spies. So when I say clandestine affairs, that's where I'm pulling that concept from, is that it used to be the card for espionage. So there's a sneaky underhandedness going on there, and that fits really well with the aspect of betrayal that you've listed there. A foot on the neck. It's my kind of lady, this T. Charles. Okay. Hi, Joseph Newhouse. Okay, sounds very Game of Thrones-y. Christina D. Without intending to, it is. I'm not a Game of Thrones person. I have watched some of it, but I haven't. I think I've watched up to season 3 or maybe 4, but I don't remember. I would like to catch up on it, but I'm not like, it's not influencing me is what I'm saying. And I haven't read the books, so it's not influencing me. To me, Hanaconda says, like the name too, by the way, to me, it's the energy right after an epic battle, winner or loser. There's the carnage to clean up. I'm a tarot rookie, so take okay, that's beautiful. No, you're right. There's that element definitely there. There's a winner, there's a loser. That's it. It's, you know, and it's very, very basic. It's skeleton format. There's winner and loser there in that concept. I feel viewing the card would make me cry. Sounds so sad. Yes, let's hope it does make you cry, Alina Morton, because I want to invoke emotion. I'm sure Anna does as well. As an artist, that is her job, to create something that evokes emotion. Game of Bonestone. Thank you, Christina D. Jigsaw Jan, so many surprises in this deck. Yes, there is. There's always a surprise. I feel like I've always got something to reveal. There's always stuff to reveal. It's a big job. It's a really big job creating a tarot deck. There's lots and lots of things to consider. Okay, Amethyst Rose, since swords are mental, is this actual physical defeat, or does the person just think they are defeated? What about a card showing it's the perception, or it is supposed? What about a card showing it's just perception, or is it supposed to be real, no question? No, it is a bit of both. It is a bit of both, and there is an element of perception. As previously stated, there is that element of winner and loser, and so, you know, the perception in that situation is really quite important. What side are you on? You know, whose eyes are you seeing it through? Even in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith Five of Swords, you're still looking at it through three people's perspectives, actually. One guy's literally got his hands in his head and he's having a fucking terrible time of it. And the other guy's holding all the swords and he's just sort of looking back going, well, you know, there's so much perspective in there. And so you can take this card from any angle, really, and still, if you can capture that winner or loser aspect of it, and that moment of shit, things are just as bad as I think they are. And you can still choose to remove yourself from that realization and go, wow, that situation is as bad as I think it is, or my situation is as bad as I think it is. Doesn't make any difference. You still got to depict it, you know, with those perspectives in mind. Does that make sense? Did I just articulate myself poorly? I feel like sometimes I talk to people in a manner that I generally understand. Those who are close to me understand, because I get a little bit overexcited when I speak. And then there's that moment where I've said rubbish, and that happens. Amethyst Rose, is she changing the elements? No, she's not. Air. Look at your Rider-Waite. Some people see swords as air and intellect. Yes, there is this element of discontent when it comes to wands and swords being, and there's a little bit of a write-up about it saying that when Mr. Waite decided to put swords in the place of air, that he was doing so to conceal certain Golden Dawn secrets, and that the rightful place of swords is in the element of fire, for the blade is forged in flame. And there are tarot decks that definitely depict swords as fire, and I have no problem with that, and I oftentimes agree with it, but I'm so accustomed now to seeing swords in the element of air that that's what I naturally go for. I think if you were to look at a good 99% of my decks, then you would see swords as air, and so I'm highly influenced now. I'm not ashamed, I'm just highly influenced. Okay. Oh, Felicia Robertson, have to get to bed. Love to all. Bye, Felicia. 7 swords. I think a clever person gets away with what they can. Yes, that's true. There's a little something there, isn't there? Sometimes being underhanded can serve you really well. Sometimes being sneaky can really yield well. But is it going to bring you a deeper sense of satisfaction? Have you been sneaky for the right reasons? Have you been sneaky for the wrong reasons? And there's the mental aspect of the 7 of Swords. It's that question. Is it for the right reasons? Is it for the wrong reasons? Did I do the right thing? Did I not do the right thing? Did I do the necessary thing? Did I do the selfish thing? You know, there's lots of questions. That's the thing about the Suit of Swords, is there's lots of questions to ask. So when you're reading it in a tarot reading, there's lots of questions. It's a very chatty suit. You can actually see the mouths moving and the questions being asked just as I'm looking at the spread. And I have to giggle at myself sometimes. Tarot is very animated for me. Okay, just a common debate. I'm still unsure if I prefer. Will there be more diversity in people? What do you mean, Erica Justin? Diversity in people? I'm curious as to what you mean by that. If you could elaborate in the chat for me, that would be great. Yeah, because it's because of the white sun and the black sun, wands and swords. Okay. Debate between internally, both wands and swords are touched by air and fire. This is true. The wand, however, is considered a tool of the magician for manifestation, and manifestation is, and the magician itself is linked to fire. Fire is the other element. It is the magical element. Wherever there is magic and ritual, you will also find a good deal of fire. And so there is a clever association for that as well. So if you wanted to make it fit for yourself, then you could. If you wanted to disagree with that, you also could. There's much room there. What have we got here? Hi, Gargoyle Mistress. How you going? I think part of the reason I began feeling distant from the Green Witch was it was too nice. I love the bone stone. It's so real and even painful. Yes, there is a lot of cultural diversity. Yeah, well, I have attempted to put cultural diversity into the deck itself. I was intentionally more female heavy. Intentional. That's a thing. I wanted to be more female heavy, but I wanted to include Asian influences. I wanted to include African influences. I wanted to include Nordic influences and English influences and Brazilian influences. And you will see a lot of color in this deck. And I don't mean that as in you will see the color black in people. You will see a lot of color, full stop. This is a cross-cultural type of deck from a cross-cultural perspective, but it is still a primeval deck. So there is a theme to it. It's old world. It's very, very early old world. It's a world of tribal wars. It's a world of, sovereign females. It's a world of, it captures a time when the Celtic people accepted women just as much as men in their battlefields. It is that time and that place. And it's a time of seers and mystics and magic and shaman. And it is that primeval glimpse, and that is an expression that existed in every geographical location. So if I can depict various geographical locations, then that's great. That's right.
Okay,
Anna's finished doing her thing.
I finished doing my little sketch here. Now I need some. This is a very action-oriented card, kind of. So I probably need to look at some like images to get some, action shots. But this is what I have so far. Okay, so tell me if you can make it out. So you have this individual here. The foot is hitting him in the chest. He's, the hands are this. The hands are kind of spread out. I actually included a little helmet kind of flying out. In the background, you would have different figures. There's a shield here. You could see swords, almost like an army kind of. And then, so that's, and this would be the leaf at the bottom of the page.
Nice. Yes. Okay. I'm very happy with that. Maybe some blood flying out of his mouth. Is that string that's coming out of his mouth? It just naturally looks like there's something flying out of his mouth.
Open, like screaming, like the guy that's being hit.
Yeah.
I have him like, flying backward.
We need to depict some pain and some just frustration on his face. I'm not sure if you'll be able to go too detailed because you are going to be so.
Well, let's see. I'll be lucky. I mean, I'm hopeful to get probably. All right. So you see how this guy here is. This is the 6 of Swords, but you see the size of the guy.
Yep.
Right. That's kind of like probably the amount of face you would see in him.
Yeah.
Unless we kind of him, and we crop him a little bit, because I mean, if you see the foot, and I'm planning on having the foot high on the chest. So if we can put that up, then you can kind of see. I'll have to kind of zoom in and out. I'm going to paint it with expression because the painting is going to be pretty big. So, if we can get that in, if I can
perfection
and get the expression to be shown in the card, then that would work. The more people you have in a card, the less, you know, you have to kind of shrink them down. So the more people you're going to put in a card, the more you're going to have to shrink the people. And
Yep.
so
and we'll have the stormy sky in the background as well. So the nice stormy sky.
Gray. And I have the army. I'm thinking the army with, like, you know, showing army gear, like as much as you can see, right? You're gonna see like some shields, some swords. I've dressed in like leather and like sandals, maybe, like, you know, like those leather tunic. What do you call them? Those leather boots.
Yeah,
right.
Leather boots.
Around.
That's
so
it. I have a question though. I have a question because something a thought just popped into my mind.
What's that?
Is it fair? Stay with me on this one. Is it fair to depict the leather-clad dude as the defeated one and the shiny dude as the victor, or is it going to be more exciting if we depict the shiny dude as the defeated and the leather-clad dude as like the winner? Like, is that would that be more fun? Like, would it be more fun to switch up those roles?
Well, it's going to definitely change the meaning. I mean, the undertone of the card, right? Because, you know, traditionally you have the more armor, you're considered stronger, right? More equipped. You have swords, you have shields, you have armor. If the one that's being defeated is the one that's in armor, and then the one in power is the one that's more raw and like tribal, right? And it shifts in terms of where the power stands.
I like that. I like the perception of it, because there is oftentimes this natural propensity for an individual to think, well, if I have money, I'm more powerful. And that's only just the perception, you know?
Yeah.
And you know what jumped into my head to make me think that? When you were telling your story of your art and the toothpaste and how you can still create amazingly beautiful things, and you're never restricted by your circumstance. If you're a creator, if you're a warrior, if you're a builder, if you're a teacher, just because your circumstances don't seem favorable, it does not mean that you will not be victorious. So that is a perception that is oftentimes hammered into us, is that you have to have all this shit, all this stuff, the best of everything, the best education, the best this, the best that, and the best is what will get you across the line and what will enable you to win. But then there is this old school element of, you know, rage and passion. And I think of Braveheart here, William Wallace rallying the people, and it was his amicability, it was his passion, and it was his gusto and his fever for battle that drew towards him army. It also drew treachery towards him, but it drew army, you know, towards him. So I think I like that better, Anna.
Yeah, I was just reading. This is a good comment here. Amy Palmer said, "But you may not feel sympathy for the loser if it is that way." So that is true, because if you are, you're going to feel more sympathy for, you know what I mean? You will feel more sympathy if the guy is dressed without armor versus with armor. At least, I don't know. Does it matter?
It's true, but is sympathy really what you want to feel when you see this card? Because the way that I'm asking this question because of this reason. If I am in a situation where I feel like I'm disadvantaged and I'm doing a tarot reading, that's why we do a tarot reading, to gain clarity on a situation. Do you want to see something that makes you feel more sympathetic or more morose towards your situation, or do you want to see a perspective that allows you to believe in your mind, to shift perspective and think, well, just because you don't have all the bells and whistles, it doesn't mean that you're not in line for a win here. You know, it's a way of helping someone to shift their perspective in a situation, because getting stuck into a self-limiting belief pattern is the last thing that I would want. And I want a person to be able to read the card and think to myself, well, you know, it's not decided. It doesn't say that you're going to win or you're going to lose. It just says that there's more to the story and that you're not limited by your means, even though you perceive to be so.
Yeah, because he could have gone in and tried to invade them, right? So
That's it.
With armor and his army.
There's no good or bad. There's only the perception there. There's the perception of circumstance. You know, if you're a person that's really like, if you're a person that is, you know, is very well off in life, if you have all the bells and whistles and you see that card and you're getting kicked in this, and you feel like you're getting kicked in the chest by this tribal dude, how is that going to make you feel? Likewise, if you're a person of limited means in life and you see a dude kicking someone in the chest, are you going to feel, how's that going to make you feel? You know, what's the real story of the situation? Is someone winning? Is someone losing? Does it matter who wins and who loses? Isn't it still the concept of you are winning, you are losing? There's a winner and a loser.
It always depends on the context, right?
That's right. That's right.
So this card can't really be interpreted based on without context of it. I guess it would depend on the reader, right? On the parent.
It would. But again, it's worth asking the question. Is it going to make you feel more sympathetic? Is it going to make you connect with the card more if you see that it's the leather-clad dude getting kicked in the chest by the corporation, let's call it, by the man?
Yes.
You know, is that going to illustrate?
I mean, for me, yes, I would probably, if I saw that, I would feel, oh, you know, poor guy. Because, you know, we're kind of conditioned in a sense to, I mean, life kind of makes you see that the little guy will get kicked by usually, you know, corporations and people that have more power than you. So, and yes, if you see a guy in a suit,
I see what you mean.
Next to him,
like
homeless.
It is one of those victory card. It's not necessarily a victory card, is it? And if depending on where you sit, and let's face it, from an economic standpoint, there are the gap between rich and poor is definitely increasing, and so there are more disadvantaged or financially disadvantaged, economically disadvantaged people these days than there ever was. And so I'm of the people. I'm of the economically disadvantaged people. I'm not live streaming from a castle, is what I'm telling you. I'm not sitting on a throne live streaming from a castle. Neither is Anna. We are of the people, right? This is my throne. I have upgraded chairs, so I feel very thronely in it.
Let's see what people are saying. Somebody said, wait, hold on. Dawn H, maybe it should be one-on-one battle then, no audience or army. And then Christine's saying, let the little guy win.
Let the little guy win. Okay. See, the reason why I don't want it on as a one-on-one type scenario is because that is definitely something that's more along the lines of the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is rivalry and battle, and you know, that kind of high energy situation. So there's a competitive nature, and that's what you'll get in a one-on-one battle. You know, anyone could win or lose. Like the odds are relatively even, or one would assume, just without creating a narrative there, the odds are relatively even.
Well, I'm going to leave it up to you. I mean, you guys decide.
All right, let's put it to a vote. Let's put it to a vote.
I will say this, that normally when you think about, okay, so if you think about, what does the card say? You know, betrayal, loss, conflict, right? When you list those things, and if you think about it from where does this usually, I mean, it happens in all life, right? But if you take it to I guess a work environment, right? The one who's going to get hurt is who's going to get betrayed and who's going to get, you know, fired, or who's going to lose everything that he has unfairly so, right? Unjustly so, would technically be the one who doesn't have all the means for it, you know, like, and that's
the one that would suffer is definitely the one who doesn't have all the means. If you were wealthy enough to recoup your losses, you wouldn't care anywhere near as much, would you?
Exactly.
So in this case, I think we're going to have to have the chainmail metal clad shiny metal. I want to make it like the beast, you know, the metallic beast, kicking the poor leather clad dude in the chest. And it's a sad card because let's face it, we're all vying for the little guy, aren't we? The card isn't about victory. It's about defeat. It's about winner and loser. It's about feeling disadvantaged. Did you see the talk that we just had? How good was that talk? That was an exciting talk to me. That made me feel good. Thanks for letting me think about that. Just out of curiosity though, like, comment 1 if you think the knight should win, the shiny dude should win. Comment 2 if you think that the leather-clad little dude should win. Like, 1 for the corporation, 2 for the little guy. Go. Just go. Go with your comments. I want to see, like, in your heart of hearts, what do you think? Wow. They went 2. They went 2. They went 2.
Two.
They went 2. Did I? That's what I said, didn't I? I'm like, 2, the little dude, 1, the corporation. Who should win? Did I say who should win or who should lose?
No, you didn't say. You said. No, I'm confused.
This was a failed exercise.
Oh, okay, let's write it down. All right, so let's do this. Okay.
Hopeless. Avalon's hopeless.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm of the people. Like, I kind of want the win for the little guy. I'm holding this up. Hold it up a little bit.
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay, 1, the winner is the little guy. 2, the winner is the big guy. We've got little guy, big guy, rich guy, poor guy, corporation people, Robin Hood and his I can't remember who he's Robin Hood and his merry men against the Sheriff of Nottingham. That's it. The Sheriff of Nottingham.
So
holy shit, you guys are up for the little guys here. Everyone wants to back the I can't speak now. Everyone wants to back the cause. The cause.
Everybody's going for the little guy.
The little guy.
Look at all the ones. The little guy wins. Should we name him? What name should we give him? Peanut?
Victor. He's Victor.
Should we call him Peanut? No. All right.
Peanut. Oh my gosh. I say 1 because if you are dressed in your best, you can still be brought down. Wouldn't that be 6 victory? Yes. Oh God, peanuts. Phony. All right. Well, there is a sentiment that we need to adhere to, and it's true. Like the 6 of wands, like that's very wands. Like you want some fire in this, and it's not fire. It's very air, and air is sad as fuck in tarot. Like it is just like fuck my life. FML.
So what did we decide?
We're gonna have to go the armor. We're gonna have to go the armor, even though it sucks. It's representative of a state of mind, though, isn't it? Don't worry, we'll bring back some victory in the suit of wands. You will be vindicated, people. Peanut will rise.
So Peanut's going down. Big dude in armor is kicking him down. So
yeah.
All right. Okay, so good. So we have Five of Swords. There it is. Recap.
Yeah. Makes me sad too. Makes me sad too.
All right, next card. Where's my, okay. Next card. Six of Swords. I love the six. I have to say, I love the Six of Swords. This is the Six of Swords.
I do as well. Yeah, it's a good one.
So, you know, moving away. But I see it also as a mental move. You know, people see it as a you're changing location. It can mean changing location, right? But it's like you're mentally either you're making a mental shift. You're moving somewhere else. You're becoming it's almost like a growth, right? You're becoming somebody else. You're transitioning to a different person, kind of. That's the way I see it, but I'm sure others will have different views on it. So
it's true. There's also this argument too well, not an argument. There's also this take on the boatman, and it's about the generosity of the boatman because he is in control of the situation and he is actually propelling the boat away. And obviously, the two figures in the boat are shrouded, and so it's about the generosity of it can be not it's about, but it can be about the generosity of an individual to assist someone to move away or to shift perspective or to change, you know, how that's going to play out. So lots of juiciness, and it can depict a journey across water. It can depict moving away from distancing yourself from a situation. It can depict the generosity of somebody, like you needing to find help, you know, ask for help from another person. Generally could be an institution, because that's where we would have most of our anxiety and our stress, is to tell someone our problem. And usually the ones to tell your problem isn't necessarily your closest family member, but someone, you know, someone more authoritarian, and then there's repercussions and anxiety towards that as well. So there is a lot to play with here. There's quite a lot to play with, and that's what we want.
Also, like if you look at the card, and I'm sure you've seen this, but you have on this side, there's like waters. You can see there's like a turbulent waters, but then on the opposite side, it looks very tranquil. So it's almost like this passage between the two that's happening.
That's right. It's moving away from
the land. Yeah, you have the land in the background. So it's moving away, but at the same time, as you're moving away, you are present in both states, kind of, right? You're going through.
You're present in the journey.
Yeah. So,
would you feel the same way, for instance, just this is a hypothetical, would you feel the same way if there was no boatman and only like a sail? Would you still feel like she would be aided by air and the wind in that regard? I would definitely see it like that. Like I don't
think you need the boatman in the sense, but you need some form of movement to show that it's moving. If the presence of the boatman is just to show that it's moving from this point to this point, that's why he's there. I don't see him as necessarily somebody who is guiding her. You know, he's not a guide. I guess I'm sure some people see it as a spiritual guide, maybe, and it could be, but it's the movement itself. It's going from state A to state B, and if we can show that by excluding the individual, then that would work. But I don't think that if you have a static image that it would work. Like if you just had the sail and there was like no wind pushing it, you know, then that would be, then you would pretty much be in a kind of a static moment. The other thing that I was thinking of, like this is very similar to, well, and again, we all read it differently. So, you know, the Fool goes on a journey in the major arcana, right? So the Fool is going on a journey. In our card, she's entering this tree, right? This is a mental journey. It's a mental journey. So it's similar a little bit to the Fool.
It is.
It's a.
I have an idea. have an idea, but I'm not sure if it will work.
Okay. Do you see what I'm?
Just marinate.
It's to me. So the Fool is like an exuberance. It's like he's going into the unknown, and it's can be crazy, happy, a dangerous thing to do. And it's not necessarily a mature individual. This is an individual who's gone through life, or it is the 6, so it's right in the middle, right? It's not the ace, it's not the 2nd, it's not the 3rd, it's a 6, so it's progressing towards the final. So this is an individual who has had some experience, who's moving away into something. So there's also that journey aspect, that going into the unknown aspect, that I think is interesting. I don't know how we can.
I'm more focusing on navigating troubled waters. Like that's where my creative brain has just hit, because my idea, and this is just my idea, I encourage you all to put elements is imagine the very front of a tall ship. Just the very, I can't remember what it's called. I can say it in Portuguese. A proa, e a popa. A proa, popa. So the front of the ship, the bow, is it? The bow of the ship, with a, how they generally have in old school ships, they have a carved something on the front. This one would be a bird with its wings stretched out on either side. So imagine like a bird wrapped around like this.
Okay,
right?
I see.
Like heading out, right? So it's got that element of air. The water it's stormy, like the waves are raised and the ship's bow is coming forth. There is a person standing holding the edge of the boat, and there's a compass somewhere there. Either one hand holding the boat, or a compass in their hand, or a compass around their neck, or somehow, and they're bracing for the turbulent waters. That's what I saw, but it's very sort of up close motion, like it's full force of it, almost like
it. I think it's a very powerful image. I think it could work.
Visually, how will it work?
All the elements can work. I don't know how big the compass would look. I'll show you why. So the way that I'm seeing it, and if you have a different angle, you can let me know. So
sea monster. Love it.
Yeah, so let's see so you have to kind of see the waters, and the idea is this boat is coming through, so it's splitting the waters in a way, because it's going in.
Yeah. So like a real crash, a real like edging up, and sort of like a very like lots of motion in it.
A bird, right? A bird?
It has to be a raven, like a raven type bird, wrapped around, like chiseled in the front of this dark wooden boat, like it's a wooden boat, like an old school tall ship.
Yeah. I know. I am currently working on a boat, so I've done a lot of.
Oh, so you're primed for this. I got you at a good time.
Well, it's for a different card. It's not. It won't look anything like this, but I've been looking at boats, at ships actually. So
you're ready. You're ready to go. This was a good one then.
So let's see.
Look up the Victoria D. Okay, Christina D. I'm looking up the Victoria de something. Copy. Ask and ye shall receive. Okay, simply. I'll just delete all the exclamation marks. Oh. Holy shit, that's awesome. Is that an angel or a bird? It doesn't look like angel wings. What's the go? Like, what's the story behind it? You guys have got to see this. La Victoria, también conocida con la Victoria. Okay, I'm reading in Spanish now. Okay.
Can I show you something quickly?
Yes, you can. Hang on.
What are you watching? What are you doing? What are you watching? Should I look for it?
Okay. Victory on something.
Okay, I will look.
Sorry.
So, okay, so this is why I'm saying that depends how you want to show it. So, can you see what I'm showing you here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is the boat. This is the tip of the ship. The bird would obviously be done better, and flying wings on the side. These are waves. It's like crashing waves everywhere. You can see maybe a little bit of the sail. It's a ship, so it's you would have to see where it's kind of hitting the water, and then the person could be at the front. This is where I'm saying that you wouldn't be able to really see the compass. That's the issue. If you show the water and the actual tip of the ship, now if it's a boat, if it's a small boat, like the boat that is in this card, right? If it's a small boat and you're just showing the tip of the boat and the person is sitting in the boat, you're just showing the tip, then they can have that. But you're pretty much changing angles. You're showing the front of this card.
Yeah,
right?
I'm wanting to show kind of like just the very front, very big image of the front of the boat with the very up close view of the person holding on to it. So
okay, if you
and then
do
this sort of like the spray in the water, like this emphasis on like rain or wind or something.
okay, if
think of it as someone going up on a wave rather than down on it, like.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I can see what you're thinking, like showing it at the cusp, at the top, and you have the pit in front, like that little. But the issue is that if you do that, and when you show if you want, so when you want to see more of the person, that means that you can't see the whole boat. You'll see, like you'll be able to kind of see waves coming through. And then I'll tighten it up after, but you get the point. So you can see this. This is a closer up.
Yep.
So you could see her bust. You can have like a round compass around, and you could have the tip of the ship, and you could see the waves kind of hitting up, but you can't see the actual sea at the bottom. You know what I mean? Like here you would see the sea at the bottom. Here you would just see waves kind of coming through. So you won't be able to show the actual parting of the water because you're at a close-up. That's what I'm saying.
I think I would prefer the parting of the water, really. So I just need to find a way to inject the compass, the directional aspect, the traveling aspect. To me, a compass indicates direction and travel. You have one to navigate. So you don't have the boatman, but you have the compass, right? You have an element of that boatman, that guide still there. And because it's going to be a stormy sky, I can't exactly put the Southern Cross or a star like, what do you call it? Navigation system, like to navigate by the stars, like wayfinding.
Well, what do they use? They use stars to navigate, no?
They use stars, and they use like well, you could do the stars. You would have to then put the moon. You would have to put the moon in there if you did the stars. You would have to definitely put the moon so that you could see the shimmer of a wave, but then you wouldn't really be able to see in the dark necessarily the features of.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm just thinking like a close-up would work, but again, I mean, you could do this and then have like storm and all that kind of happening around, but because then if you put the base of the sea right here, then you're in a little tiny boat. You're in a little what do you call it? Almost like those little cruisers that kind of go on the.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to see in order to see the compass, you have to zoom in. And you can do that, but you have to let go of certain elements.
We could be just a bit more creative with the idea of the compass. You know, so you're familiar with maps, right?
Yep.
I've seen some maps. So maps, especially a flat map in, say, a book, it has the image of a compass or the Southern Cross. You know, it has that the image just up there, and it starts like you could just put it up there as like as a guide, as the aspect of guide, like in the wind or in the cloud bank. You know, like formed in like more ethereal.
She's reading the signs of the wind, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's something along those lines, because I want there to be that spiritual aspect of journey, right? The aspect of travel as well. The boat, the movement of the ocean, and the winds are all paramount to the creation of the feeling that I'm trying to encapsulate here. But a beautiful big tall ship, like really carved in that, and that bird in the front. Do you see like I have to have a bird everywhere. Everywhere in the suit of swords has to have some kind of a fucking bird.
Okay, so you want me to try and sketch this one a little bit, see how it goes?
All right, and then I'm going to go and have a little bit of a read, of these questions. Okay,
I'm muting my mic, just so you know.
Okay, Christina D, that was a really beautiful link, or a beautiful little something that you showed me. So I really liked that. I thought it was very beautiful. We'll know what it is. Beautiful idea. Wow. What about a griffin on the front? A griffin, as in the bird clawed. Interesting. Is there a reason, Amy Palmer, why you suggested the griffin? Does it have a deeper meaning for you? Does it, like, I'm trying to see why you would have chosen that particular bird. It's a goddess. Yes, it is. What if the perspective was from right behind the man? Well, it could be as well, but then there wouldn't be too much to show necessarily. Like, I would want to include the tempest that he's in, the tempest, the mental turmoil, as personified through the tempest and the navigation of troubled waters. So seeing his face, at least capturing a small element of his expression or his mannerisms, characteristics, etc., would be important. It says sculpture. Oh no, Greek goddess of victory. Nice. That's nice. Do you want to convey trepidation at this travel transition? Maybe the person at the front of the boat is consulting the compass. Yes, definitely that's what I'm aiming for, that consultation aspect, or at least that navigation aspect, that desire to navigate, that looking towards some kind of direction. That's definitely what I would like to convey. The Six of Swords boat points north. So if you put green in front. Joseph Newhouse. It depends on how you feel about north. That's an interesting point. Thank you for that. We're 20 minutes behind. That's why there's green on the right of the rider-waite. Yes. Well, looking up at the stars as if charting. Test A. Yes, that's a thought that I had, but I'm putting a stormy sky in there, so you won't be able to see the stars. Again, the stormy sky is our theme throughout the swords. So we have the suit of swords. That's one theme. Then we have a visual theme going on of the stormy sky. So there'll be no stars, no clarity in the sky, unless of course there is a little peak in the cloud bank, so to speak. But I can't see where that would be. Have I seen Moana? Yes, I have. Well, I have children, so I'm forced to see these things. Jigsaw jand. Okay. They're spiraling. And then bring them in. Hang on, I have to look up that word. I've never heard it before. Is that some kind of a fancy schmancy? Oh, okay. So it's a symbol. It's a symbol and it's jewelry. How's about them apples? Oh, where's my chat stream? There we go. Milena measures the stars with their hands as navigation. Yeah, it's beautiful. Stars are hope and travel to navigate. Oops, where did I go? Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. I'm way behind on the comments. Sorry, guys. Maybe a sextant would be easier. Yeah, it could be. If the pic was the view from behind them. Okay, Griffin. Good idea, Griffin of Wands. It's my favorite sculpture. Oh, that's beautiful. Did you add a bird in 5 of Swords? Raven, maybe? I haven't put any birds in the 5 of Swords. Perhaps there's room for one, or at least a feather, or maybe a skull on the armor of Peanut as he goes down. Look up the idea of the goddess compass. Both the comments don't make the compass carved into the beak. That's a good one. North Star, Aurora Borealis. Oh, yeah. What do you think, Anna? That was a good one. That was a good suggestion.
Yes.
An Aurora Borealis, yeah?
I like that. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm like,
that's a good one. Who was the original thinker of that? Was that you, Joseph Newhouse? Joseph Newhouse with the Aurora Borealis. Jigsaw Jan likes the idea, as does Hanaconda. Beautiful. Griffin is cool, but as it's half eagle and half lion, wouldn't it be more fire? Yeah, that's a good one. Freya's necklace. Oh, talk of the Brinzing, the Aurora Borealis. Ah, okay, okay. Alrighty. Fabulous. Freya's necklace, hey?
What are we're putting in Freya's necklace? Is that what you said?
I've just looked it up. I'm seeing very alternative depictions of it. It looks like a pentacle. With a swirling thing going on around it.
Yeah, I have to look that up. I don't think I know exactly what it looks like.
And then there's other more adornments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to message this word to you, and then you can have a little bit of a look, see it.
Okay. Oh, so at the hem is the person that's sitting at the tip is a woman or a man? I'm just making sure before.
I beg your pardon?
The person who's sitting at the tip of the ship, looking out, is it a man or is it a woman?
I'm feeling more woman, but that's all, of course, because I was just looking at women's jewelry. How about we put it as a vote? Put it as a vote. Man or woman? Just type man or woman, please. Who would you like to see at the helm? No, the helm is where you drive, right? I need to get my boat stuff. My husband is an avid boatman, and and if I called him now at work to say, "Excuse me, what's the front of a boat called?" he would call me a fucking idiot. He wouldn't really. He doesn't swear at me at all, ever. Never has in his life. Woman, man.
Are we putting the compass in the wind, right? We're putting the compass in the wind, correct?
Yeah, putting it sort of like superimposed in the clouds or the wind or something along the lines. Now, it could be man, it could be woman, but it could be a cloaked figure as well.
Okay. Yep.
Would you say cloaked? Actually, that makes more sense to me, mostly because if it's windy and it's rainy, I would want to be sort of covered. It suggests shielding, and it is a bit more of a throwback to the traditional rider.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I think we're going to go with hooded. Who was the first person to say hooded? Let's give credit where credit is due. Cloaked. Amy Palmer. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yeah. And that way we needn't bother with the facial aspect of it. Like, it's not going to play that much of a boundary of a bearing now. It's more about the theme that the card is depicted. So the boat is part of the theme. It tells the story. The intricately placed, compass in the winds, the rough seas, the raven brings the element of air even further into it. You've got the winds, you've got the rush of water coming up, the big waves, you've got the cloaked person, you've got the boat. All the elements are there. I feel that all the elements are there. Quite satisfying.
Let's see. And then I'm looking up a compass. I should know how to draw a compass, right?
Oh, but they can vary so much. Like, I can't even visualize a compass. Like, I know what my metal witch compass looks like. So
well, there's different types of compasses, right? There's that star that is the typical navigation looking north,
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like the one that you hold in your hand. So I'm probably going to go with a star because it's easier to incorporate in a cloud-like form. You know what I mean? Like, not where it says north, south, east. Let's see. Let's see how it goes.
That's it.
I realized while drawing it, you put the star in a compass. The compass looks like a star. Inside the compass, like, have the north, south, east, west. It looks like a star. It's because probably they're basing it off the actual star. They're thinking, get it?
Yes, that's actually a thing.
Realize that. It's just that, like, a little epiphany there.
I learned that at Roganing in high school. It didn't serve me well. I got very lost, and the whole school had to come out and find my team. I've never been good with directions. I can feel my way. I've never actually been genuinely lost anywhere that it mattered. I've been lost in the bush before, but it didn't matter, because I was on school camp and it's fine. But I've never been genuinely lost, as in, like, to look around in a foreign city even and go, where the fuck am I? I never know where I am, but I always seem to find my way anyway. So it's a fabulous thing that happens. I'm very guided. Must be my pomba gira. That's a thing.
Okay. Just drawing in these waves. Okay. All right.
I'm excited.
Playing my screen here. I can't see myself, so I have to be able to see what I'm showing. All right, here we go. Okay. So, can you see that? All right, so there she is. She is in a cloak in the wind. And this would be the tip. You have the wings of the raven. Was it raven or crow? I think it was raven. And then there'd be like these huge waves kind of hitting, and from one side and then another showing the opposite direction. You'd have to have, like, the sea foam kind of splitting at the bottom, and then you'd have the clouds, and then forming this kind of a wispy compass.
Oh, I like it. It would be absolutely awesome if somehow her cloak could blend into the feathers of the raven as it billows out behind her.
Ah. I see what you're going. So she'd be, like, in a dark cloak then, like a black cloak.
Yeah, a darkish cloak.
I'll write that down.
The situation is quite dark.
Okay, so black.
You're the one that puts these ideas in my head, though. You've done that with so many cards that I'm like, oh, now I need to blend them all. Now they all need to connect. A bit over the top.
Ding with wing. Raven. Okay. Okay. All right. So this will be the 6 of swords. 6 swords.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay, good. So we have the 2. We have 8. So do we want to tackle 7, or are we leaving it?
Let's tackle 7. Let's tackle 7 nice and quick, because I think we might have already previously discussed a little 7 action.
We did. Oh, we did 9 and 10. We talked about 9 and 10.
We definitely talked about. No, but I remember ages and ages ago, there was that chatter about, with the 7, the guy with his hand behind his back and the smile towards his face, like kind of like just an exchange where, yeah.
Oh, where he's holding with, you can see the back, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the idea was, I'll use some scissors here. I don't have knives, so the idea was to show somebody
like with a dagger behind his back,
holding a dagger behind, and that's your, well, like this. So that would be the yeah, because the 7 is showing, this is the traditional 7 where he's running off with all the swords. It's a naughty guy.
Yeah, in a rather clown-like state. He just looks like a clown to me. You know how a clown in a circus goes and he's balancing all these oversized objects. Like that to me is a really, really ineffective depiction. It's effective. I'm not disrespecting Pixie's artwork there. Like I get it, but at the same time, when I look at it, I can't help but feel a sense of comedy in my heart.
That's funny.
I dare you now to look at that card and not see that.
Right.
So the thing is, do we just show, okay, this is the question. Do we just show the hand part, not even the head, but just the whole, like shoulder, hand, and a close-up of that behind the back? Or do we show a bit more of an exchange where it's the head, the side of the face, like a nice cheeky smile with that hand behind the back, like almost like having an interaction, what do you call it? A dishonest interaction with an individual.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we can show a little smirk, right? But you'd still have to kind of cut the image, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be like, let's see. Okay. So you'd have the person kind of looking backwards, right? Or at the viewer at least. So
I'm just thinking. I'm having a delicious vision, but now I'm second guessing what I'm seeing, just on its details. You could have him technically. You could have him full back view, right? But if there was a mirror or a reflective surface in the space, you could see his smile, and you could also then depict the other person, couldn't you?
But when you again, if you're including more elements, your guy with the sword behind his back is gonna get tiny.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to show? Do you want to show that? Oh, and I remember you said you wanted a cloak. Like you were thinking, like for the person to have like a cloak on, so it's like a dark thing on. But
yeah. In that case, I think you could have.
Like that.
You could have just the. Oh, show me. Oh yeah.
Like you could just see a part of the person, or you could just show just that, the hand with the.
I think I like just the hand without the smirk, right? I think if there's going to be another person in the card, then yes, the smirk is definitely necessary. But if there's no smirk, then maybe what we could do is like hooded figure again, beautiful like, long dagger, like a really nice, interesting like cultural style of dagger, right? And the figure moving towards like a marketplace or a you know, a gathering of people. But very faint in the distance, you know what I mean? But a special emphasis on the person, the cloak, the dagger. And it wouldn't even need to be full figured. It could be, you know, cut, so you don't have to show all the way down to the feet, but definitely the hand behind the back, the cloak up close, and then like the flicker of, say, lights in the distance to show that he's heading towards something.
Okay.
Is that a workable vision? Is that a workable?
Yes. Sorry, I just had an idea and I wanted to show it to you.
Okay, show me your idea.
Let me just, based on like, okay, let's see if I can draw it out.
The two pillars behind him are like the high priestess pillars, and he has 5 swords in his hand, making a V. Yeah, swords. I like it when cards make me smile. If you want a bird for the 7, kookaburra would fit. Stealing other birds' nests and having their eggs raised by other birds. Trickery. I'll ask my little kookaburra friends. I've got a friendly kookaburra in the backyard, and he's here entertaining me every afternoon, as are his fellow comrades. Maybe with a hood exchange. Maybe the East rune is carved into the dagger for the connection to a standstill, deceit, and illusion. I'm not sure if I want to go Nordic on this one though, Tess. I may want to go, I don't know, something more Eastern flavored. Like Persian, like a Persian dagger.
Okay.
Like that's why I went cultural with the dagger aspect.
What if you had the person shown from behind and he's walking towards the village?
Yes. With a Persian dagger.
With a Persian dagger.
A Persian dagger.
Let me look up Persian dagger. Don't know what a Persian dagger looks like. I have to look.
I actually don't know what a Persian dagger looks like either. I'm just assuming that it looks beautiful. Persian dagger. Everybody look up Persian dagger. This is your... Oh yeah, no, I was right. That's exactly what I thought it was. It's fabulous. How good is that dagger?
Dagger. It's pretty. It's the one with the curved kind of blade.
Yes.
Okay.
Like a cutlass almost.
So do you want you think that you want to show that do you want to show it straight on, or do you want to show it
a little bit, so, like maybe just not fully like straight to the back, just a little hint of it, just twist the body a little bit.
Okay.
To bring the hand a little bit closer and the hand. Hang on. I'll stand up and I'll see if I can. I'm sure I have my affirmation here somewhere. Not that I can find it anywhere. No, I can't.
Well, just pick a pencil. I don't need to see the dagger. I can, because I'm going to replace the dagger.
Okay, white, so I'll just choose the candle.
Okay.
Just move my thing. So imagine if it was more like that.
Okay. Yeah, and
or even because this is a much more menacing grip.
So would you see the what do you call it? The town. Would you see the town
You would
behind?
see the town in the same in a similar way as you would see. Like this is me quite up close.
Uh-huh.
So you've still got a fair bit of surrounding here, right?
Yep.
So you would see a little bit of light towards the front and just a very light smattering of detail.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yep. I got it. Makes sense. Okay. Yep. Let me turn it around.
Well, I'm excited.
See, this is what brainstorming is, guys. Different angles for the cards.
That's it. It's all about the angles. When I first started down this road with Anna, he quickly informed me that it's all a matter of angles, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't really think of that. Like, when you're not artistically trained in any regard, you just think pretty picture, good idea, and that's it. Just do that. But no, it's got to fit into this tiny little space, and you want it up close, and you want it further away. Do you want it twisted this way, that way, this way? Like, it all makes a huge difference to the flavor of the card. Living and learning. It's a true thing.
Unfortunately, right? Okay, so are we keeping the figure in what do you call it? A robe, or what, does it matter what they're clothed?
I'm thinking a good cloak.
Cloak?
Like almost like I want it like a witch's cloak.
Okay. Cloak it is. Okay.
Part of me wants, I want so many things for this card. I've got this is why I need to make other tarot decks, because for every single card, I have different ideas and different themes.
Well, you have to write them all.
I was looking down. I'm shuffling my my sun and moon and rain tarot, and I had all these little black flakes, and I thought, oh fuck, it's chipping because it got rain damage, and it's not. It's just the candle that I was holding. It's got black glitter on it. It's okay. It's totally okay. Wait till you see the Six of Swords. Definitely my favorite Four of Swords. Yes, the Four of Swords is beautiful. Amazing. Four of buns. Bow and arrow says. Oh, Tammy, that's sad. But that's the cycle of life. Yeah, witch's cloak. Gotta have some witch in there.
So we don't want to see the head at all, right? We're not seeing the head of the individual.
No.
Because it doesn't really matter. Okay, and the town, we see the little town.
We see the faint presence of a town. At least the hint that the individual that is cloaked is walking towards population of some description, where he can be sneaky and clandestine. And where treachery is present, and you know, the stage is heading towards that stage where his malicious deeds can be played out. Could be revenge, you know, it could be revenge.
Do we want him holding something else in the other hand? Like almost like, you know, like that deceit aspect. So almost like think you know, you have like merchants going into town with, you know, baskets of something, and then, you know, it's not that. It's like they're going in for the kill, not, they're coming in with different intentions, you know.
What about a book?
Book is good.
Or a scroll or something.
Scroll works. I like the book and the scroll. I like the, well, because it is mind, right? It is air. So
it's mind, it's air. And it's information as well. It's the potential for information. So maybe a letter or a parchment of some description. So there's a delivering of a message that could have various meanings, right? You can think about that for yourselves. Like, what is the letter carrying? And she's protecting it, you know?
Yes.
You're all of a sudden, which cloak became woman? See, she's protecting it. And it's valuable information. So yes, it is sneaky. Oh, see how that developed? That was quick. That makes it more exciting.
Okay. Here's what I have. Let me.
Oh, Jack the Ripper lured women with grapes, says Amy Palmer. For those who didn't know, and I didn't know that.
Okay. So this is the person. There's the Persian dagger is on the back. You can see the hand holding it, and then on the other hand, there's a scroll. He's holding a scroll.
Ah, which way is he facing? She facing?
This way.
Ah, okay.
So that's the back.
Yeah.
And then this is a little town behind. Like, I mean, in front.
That's perfect. I like it. Gonna have to have a deep, dark, stormy sky for that one.
Stormy skies. Stormy skies.
Do you perchance have the 8 of Swords close by to you at all, Anna?
Yes. Yeah, I have it. I have it right here.
Because then that sort of like seals off that little chapter.
Yep. Let's see. I don't think I have it in order. I think I have to go backwards a little bit. I have it. How are you? It's hiding. The chariot. There it is. Okay. That is the 8 of Swords.
That's the 8. There we go.
The cherry blossoms behind, and in the water, you have the inner child. So what we did is we reversed. So here you have blue sky, and the actual dark kind of sky is reflected within the lake. So if I were to flip it this way.
Yeah, so you've got the same tone of blue there.
But it's just a little play.
Yes. That's exciting. That's exciting.
Back.
That's exciting.
So we have.
Oh my God.
We have the.
That really pushes us towards the 9 of Swords now. And the 9 of Swords has been so difficult to conceptualize, I've got to say. It's tricky.
We got something, some idea.
We've got some ideas, and who knows? Maybe after this we'll just, it's a really great vision will come to us. And we'll be like, no, that's off the table. We've designed it already. I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. The 10 of Swords is completely off the table. That is going to be designed. Like, we have a solid vision that we're both very excited about. So it can't be tampered with in any way. We can't be influenced on that one, because what we've got is really, really freaking good. Okay? But the 9 we've got, it's a bit of like,
who's a bow and arrow? That is not a spider on my wall. Here, I'll take it down because everybody's been asking me what this is. So I will show you what it is. Okay, this is what it is. This is a project that I did with the kids. It's actually a mirror, and it's made out of these twigs that we found. So we just glued it and just made it, it was like a do-it-yourself kind of very earthy.
It's awesome.
So this is because everybody's like, spider. It's not the spider.
Not a spider. It's not a spider. Now we know.
Now you know. I have revealed the scary thing behind me. Okay.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Ah, it's exciting, folks. It is totally exciting. We have just done 3 cards. That's brought us up to the 8 of Swords, where we are going to be now finishing off. Like, we're like, it's exciting.
We still have, yeah, so but 9 of Swords. What were we doing? Okay.
9, 10.
9 of Swords is the nightmare, right? I'm trying to picture it. Nightmare.
Yeah, 9 of Swords is the nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a hard
It
one,
is a
isn't it?
nightmare, right? It's a nightmare.
Nightmare to try and design. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare to design, and it's a nightmare to get.
To conceptualize. We've had so many good ideas about this one. Well, what I consider to be good ideas, or how about the term possible ideas, possible options? We've had so many possible options, and they all are pretty like harrowing. So there's an element of, this is where it gets a bit darker.
Well, we can tell them. We can tell them in general, like so the discussion that we were kind of going through is that the if you want, I should ask before.
Yes, you tell them. I need to pee. You tell them what we have discussed, and I'll.
Okay, so the let me find the card first. It's easier to have it kind of looking at you. So a lot of you guys read the cards, right? Obviously, you're looking at a deck that's being created, so you can have a deck. Okay, so I found the 10 of Swords. The 9 of Swords is shown as somebody in bed with, like, waking up from a nightmare, and so it's that fear aspect, right? Now here it is. So it's when your worst fears kind of come true, right, in your dreams. Now, this is not a card that is, it doesn't represent reality in the sense, because the individual is in bed, so they just woke up from, at least the way it's shown here, they've woken up and they're kind of covering their eyes. And what we were discussing was the fact that it's a card that shows each person's deepest fear. And that part of the reason why they chose to show the card showing nightmares is because it's cross-cultural. Everybody dreams, everybody has nightmares, and at some point in your life, you've had some nightmares. And so the idea is that it's very hard to show this fear, right? Because if I show you a spider, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be afraid of a spider, and not everybody's afraid of spiders, and not everybody's afraid of death or something. It's very hard to show because we don't all have the same fears. And so catching that instance, we were trying to capture the moment of fear, the essence of fear. So if you think about it, what is fear at its core, right? And what is it? Like, why are you afraid of spiders? What do you think that a spider would do to you? Or why are you afraid of water? Why are you afraid of fire? What is that underlying thing? We all have phobias, but why do we have them? And so this card is showing fear, but we're trying to show it at its primal core, I guess would be the way to go for it. And we were trying to find an image that would speak throughout cultures. It wouldn't matter if you are, American, French, or German, Asian. It wouldn't matter what culture you're from, because you would have felt that at one point in your life if you're an adult. If you didn't feel it, then I don't know.
If you haven't felt it, then you're very lucky.
Yeah, you're very lucky, because we've all had some form of fear. So that's what
Right. Ab says monster under the bed. Boom.
So that's where we were at with the card. We wanted to show something that was not traditional, in the sense like showing a particular thing that you're afraid of, but capturing that moment of fear and that void, I guess would be the word, right?
That's exactly right. Like, I'm just reading the comments here, and I can't help but think of a little scene, right, that I want to share with you. So, is anyone here familiar with the Never-Ending Story?
Yes.
Okay, so you know where Atreyu is towards the end of that cave, and the wolf is actually lurking in the cave.
Yes, the nothing.
The nothing. That's an image. That's a potential. Put that in our list of potentials.
But it wasn't. It's like you couldn't really. I mean, you thought it was a dog or a wolf, but it was something more than that. It was the nothing, right? It was personified.
It was personified in a wolf. The nothingness was personified in a wolf with the red eyes and the gnarly teeth, you know.
Yes, and so Jigsaw Jan is saying, isn't it generally about the fear of the unknown, not knowing? Yes, exactly. So it's that literally that void of not knowing what is coming next. Of if you die, you don't know what's coming next, or if you get bitten by a spider, well, you're afraid of what is going to happen next, right? So it's that not knowing aspect, but at the same time, how do you show not knowing, or how do you show the unknown?
How do you show the ultimate fear? How do you show fear itself? Like, it was a fear. Like, it's difficult. It's the expression of fear. That's one that we actually thought about. Like, literally, someone in the throes of like is sheer terror. We thought about that. That was one. That was pretty much the only one that we could think to do justice, essentially, because that's just a raw emotion.
I have to say, I like the nothing. I'm partial to the nothing.
You're partial to the nothing. I'm partial to the nothing. I like the idea of like a person walking through a forest and then seeing like this dark-eyed, like kind of wolf-like figure creeping out of the darkness. Like, it's kind of got that nightmare element to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Or even like if you had like something and then a break and just pitch black in front, or or that instance where you see I think that he looks.
No, there's something break and then sheer black in front of it. That's our priestess card.
Yes, but no, I'm thinking of the moment where he looks into the cave and he sees just the eyes, and you can see like you could just see the tooth and just the you don't see the shape. You just see those two things, and everything else is pitch black. From what I remember, I mean, we watched the Never-Ending Story, but
oh my gosh! Yeah, I reckon that could be like the red eyes and just as though how he in the movie he literally sort of like just starts to jut ever so slightly out of the cave, and all you see is the very front of the snout. What? Go.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You're really excited then.
I just had this because I was thinking, somebody, who was it? Jigsaw Jan said, what is it? Looking into the cave of darkness. Okay, so instead of the cave of darkness, and this is Bonestone. Are you kind of connecting the dots here? Okay, so think Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
What if you had this like a skull, but it's so up close that you see the orbits and you just look into it, and instead of like you're looking into nothing, like it's like this pit kind of thing. It's just like you'd see just like this part of the skull in the card, and you could tell the skull, but you would see the empty, not eyelids, empty sockets. Sockets? Yeah, sockets.
The sockets. What? Wait a minute. Are you talking about like this as a chalice? Are you talking about the person holding a skull chalice and then looking into
you wouldn't see the skull.
chalice?
You wouldn't see the chalice. I was just thinking. I said Shakespeare because you're thinking. I was thinking the skull. But like if you have,
I'm seeing Hamlet with holding this like the skull in his hand. You know, like the Hamlet style. That's the Shakespeare that I went towards.
Yes. You could do that. Yeah, because But I was seeing it. This is the first image that came to my mind was this, and I will do very quickly. I'll use a pen.
Get so excited. Get so excited when Anna ferociously sketches like she's, you know, bringing to life like this amazing masterpiece, which she always does.
It's not a masterpiece, but it's like I'm trying to get it before I lose it. You can only have the image in my head for so long, and then it's just kind of, it's almost like staring at a candle, and then you look off and you have like an after image.
Yeah.
And then it just goes away.
I just get so
all right. Okay.
I've got heaps of new ideas now too. Like because
this.
of that style, because of that. Oh my god.
Can you see it? But it's like black. It would be like pitch black inside, and you could just see a little bit of like, you would see, it would be like the skull wouldn't be pure white. It would be like kind of that, you know, in a shadow, so it would be black in the background. You just see a close up of it.
Oh my god. See, that to me indicates like fear of death.
Could be, but isn't it at its core? Isn't that
the fear of death? It could be the fear. It's the fear of something dying. Essentially, I think that's damn bloody good.
I'm trying to think, like, usually what they say, and I actually read up a little bit on it after we had that talk, that every fear at its core is the fear. If you take any fear that you have and you dissect it to the core of it, if you go to a shrink, you know, usually it ends up being the fear of dying.
See, that's
the fear, at least not the fear of non-existence, of you know, losing yourself, that
yeah, losing yourself. Ooh,
so
I need something else in there though. Like I need something else. Like you had me at skull, basically. Like you had me at skull. I've been itching to have a human skull in this thing, which is why when you said to me Shakespeare, I kind of saw like the cave, I saw the nothing, and I saw the person peering into it. So imagine like a skull full of like red liquid, like blood, but it's wine, but it's blood red wine, and then peering from that reflective surface are those eyes, are those menacing eyes. It's like a scrying vision.
Okay, hold on. So, where's the wine? Wine? Did you say wine? Sorry. I have wine right here. You said the magic word, so I'm like, wine? Where's the wine?
Where's the wine? Oh my gosh. But it wouldn't necessarily need to be filled with wine either, although, because then it would be a little bit difficult. Like if it was a genuine skull, you would be holding it and you would still see the skull. You know, a skull is not watertight unless it's, of course, made to look watertight. But like peering into a bleached skull and the shadow inside the skull looking out as like wolf, like the eyes and like just the red eyes. It is red eyes, isn't it? I'm Googling this. I have to Google this.
I'm gonna look it up.
Never ending story. Everyone Google this. The wolf with an F, not a D. Oh, he had like weird. Oh, there's such good images.
That's what I'm seeing. Okay, you see that the nothing, the I wish I could share my screen. But okay, I'll draw it. Okay.
Oh my God, this is the best image. I'm just looking at the best image.
You see the animal?
Why can't I save as? Can I save as?
Well, you can share your screen. You can share your screen.
And I don't even know if I can. How does one do that?
I don't know. I know I don't know how to do it, but I know it can't. Okay. Hold on. I have an idea.
I'm gonna send you this image. If I got it correctly, which I don't. Oh, here. Yeah, I'm Facebooking this one to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just done that.
That's exactly the one I was looking at. It's exactly. All right. So I will. Here, I'll do this, so everybody can kind of see. Hold on.
Oh, that's the same one. Is that the one that I just sent you?
That's the one you sent me, but that's the exact same one I was looking at.
Yes.
It's like the image of, but he's like pitch black.
Maybe that's all we need.
Okay.
Maybe that's all we need. That's all we need. We don't need a person. We just need a really.
It's the nothing. But it's. I think that you don't even need to see. Like here, you can kind of see the fur. You can see the fur, and you can see the nose, right? But I don't think you need to see that. You don't need to see because the idea is to make it so you don't know what it is. It's like this thing.
The unknown, yeah. But you have to give it the teeth. You have to be able to see the teeth and the
teeth
eyes.
And the eyes, but not, yeah. Skull. Little and fab is skull. Okay, so you, oh, and the skull, I was thinking, like, if you did this skull, this was just, the skull you could have, if you really wanted blood, you could have, like, in the eye, like a river of blood. You know? Do you know what I mean?
Gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, well, you know, they're two really exciting options. The ones that we had previous was a guy with half a head, and like, you know, you see the top of the skull off, and then inside you kind of see the mechanics of what's going on, like these demons kind of like, you know, undulating inside. We also saw the arrow. We also talked about the arrow through the head, like literally through the eyes, like a human head with an arrow straight through the head. And Anna warned me against that one for Halloween. And then we had a person with a blade right to their temple, and the fear, like that fear aspect.
Yeah, like
so we've had a lot of ideas, like a lot of ideas. So far, skull and the nothing are my favorites, though.
We also had a man on the brink of the void, tired, ragged, and terrified. I just wrote that down.
Oh yeah, that was one.
That's just what I.
That was our pure terror one, though, wasn't that?
No, this was a gray-haired man at the brink of the void. So everything is pitch black around him. He's tired and ragged and terrified, like this.
Like the broken aspect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one too. See? All right, we need to number these ideas, Anna. We may as well number these ideas because I don't want to think about this anymore.
Okay.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Like the process of the night. Isn't it funny how each card translates out into Like the Two of Swords was the most polarizing card to create. That was exciting.
3. I have 3. So 1, I have the skull. I'm just going to draw a little skull.
My fringe is very long and it's getting in my eyes.
2 is the nothing.
Listen to this, Jigsaw Jan. Once when I was reading cards, a friend of mine saw an entity hovering behind me that looked like a man-beast thing with long matted hair with red eyes.
That's spooky. That's spooky.
That is straight out of a horror movie. That is.
Oh
my God.
Okay, so.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got some good ideas. Like, seriously, I told you this was difficult. We had some good ideas. Amazing. Amazing to me. Yeah, that's a good one, Amethyst Rose.
1, 2, 3. So I just, so there we go. So I have.
Is that peanut on the back?
What? Yes,
Is that the same?
peanut on the back. All right, so 1 is the skull. 2 is the beast in the like a beast, nothing.
The nothing.
3 is the man on the brink of the void, tired, ragged, and terrified. Those are the 3 ideas.
Okay. Okay, so there you go. 1, 2, and 3. And I'll hold those up. Folks, type in your preferred one. So again, 1 is the skull. 2 is the nothing, the eyes and the teeth. 3, an old man, ragged, on the brink of the void, losing his mind. Ooh, 1. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so more 2s so far. 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. It's between 2 and 3, yeah. 2. 2's winning.
It's the nothing.
It's the nothing. 1 or 2, 3 or 1. 2. 2's won by a landslide. Well, not quite. Not quite a landslide.
I think
it will be.
Turn out, as long as, because here's what I think that we should make it as inconspicuous, as undefined in terms of what type of beast it is. So keep eyes and teeth, but not, so you won't know for sure. Is it a wolf? Is it a dog? Is it the Bigfoot? You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't know what it is. Like, because if we're trying to go for that underlying fear, I don't want somebody to pick up the card and go, it's a dog. I'm not afraid of wolves, or I'm not afraid of dogs, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
It's
got to be the menace in the lack of knowing what it is.
that part.
There's no real. I mean, there are very few creatures here on our planet with red eyes. You'll get red reflective eyes.
You have Marielle. Pull out the Marielle. I don't want to copy Marielle. I'm like totally freaking out here. Guys,
I've got 2 copies. One is easier to reach than the other.
9. Which one is it? The 9 of Wands? What is it? The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands.
There's a wolf in it. All right, here we go. Let me just make some space here. Isn't this an amazing deck? Like, just give me a freaking break.
You know, Could always just do a pitch black card, you know, that would just paint it all black.
Skip it all together and just go. Are you thinking of this one? Is this the one that people are thinking of?
No, I think there's a black one in there too. There's a, right? Am I right? Isn't there like a black one in there?
I can't. Oh yeah, the 7 of Cups. That's that one.
No, is it?
I'll keep looking. I'll keep looking. Oh yeah, the Knight of Wands. Oh, this is a bear.
I can't see.
That's
I was gonna adjust my lamp, but it's actually your lamp. Yes. Okay. Is that too similar?
Is that something more along the lines?
Is it too similar?
I don't think it's too similar. So you know what? The magician in this deck is actually really scary.
Yeah.
Like that to me is really scary. That depicts an element of the unknown. What?
I'm sorry. I was just reading a comment on Facebook that Jen Bowen made about the 4 of Wands. So I'm sorry. She's like,
read it out loud.
This is my card. All you better back away slowly. And there's like a gun. Sorry.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Jen. It's funny.
Oh my gosh. I've got some stuff.
Well, we could explore that. I mean, I can try it out.
Which one are we drawing out?
Well, I'm saying
the gun.
The one with the beast. I wouldn't be able to draw it out because it's all about everything has to be pitch black. So I pretty much have to get like a paint everything like black and then go and bring it
black
out.
Gesso it and then go over the top of it.
It's like the opposite, like a pitch black page, and then apply color to that to bring it out.
That's exciting. Half the flesh off. That's all I just read then. Half the flesh off. You guys are dark. I fucking love it. All right. Well, let's play around with that one for a little bit. See, it's difficult. It's difficult. We were never going to get it, in one hit. It needs to be like a whole nine of swords. All right, guys. Well, we're well over our time. We've been on here for ages, and Anna has things to do, like create a deck, and I've got things to do, like write a book and read for people and manage orders and do all that kind of stuff. So let us call it a night, day.
Let us depart. Merry meet.
Hey?
Merry part and merry meet again.
Merry part and merry meet again. Look forward to our next little hangout in 2 weeks' time, and we should have some pretty amazing looking cards down on page for you. So again, have a look at Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot group if you're not a member of it already. Behind the scenes, if Anna feels so inspired, she maybe might put a little flash of something that she's creating regarding the 9 of Swords, so you guys can keep up with that, because we'll be tweaking that one quite a bit over the next 2 weeks. Well, just at least cementing an idea.
I'm going to start off with first, so just so we're clear on this, I'm going to start off with in order. So the 5, 6, and 7. That's the order we're going right now.
Yeah.
And then that one needs to be a little bit more fleshed out before.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Sounds about good. All right, thanks. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us. It's always a pleasure. You guys make this experience a delight. Thank you so much for throwing in some suggestions. The Hooded Man, the Aurora Borealis, just amazing stuff. Okay, so thank you for contributing the way that you do. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time. See ya! Bye.